Well, it's the game 2 of this softball doubleheader on this holiday eve. We come to you from Flames Field on the campus of UIC, and you missed an offensive showcase earlier from Las Traviesas. 18 runs on the day from their team. They got it started from the opening jump, and now they look to go for the sweep of this doubleheader here on the Windy City Sports Network. Hi, everyone. Kevin Malater here with James Winkin, and James, for a Lindblom team that's getting ready to come back to bat. They were able to capitalize and get a couple of runs there late. Unfortunately, they lost 18-5, though. What do they have to do differently in your eyes to get a win here and split the doubleheader?
Yeah, in my eyes, I think that Lindblom definitely has to look at the ball better, check themselves before that, and also pitching. Pitching was a big issue within that first game. Lindblom has to get on tracks with their pitching. First off, attacking that zone. Unfortunately, there was too many missed balls by the catcher at first, so we'll see in this next game. But at the plate, we got to keep attacking, and we'll see with this first pitch.
Sam Crowder takes that one downstairs, and that's how we get going here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Lindblom 0-5 now on the summer season in search for that first win as the regular season comes to a close. And one misses upstairs, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have a lot of stints where you go into these big slumps. A 5-game losing streak is not where you want to be if you're Lindblom. What you got to do now is to just try and keep your head up when the hopes are giving you other things, unfortunately. So you got to just dig from the deep, go off, and try and figure out what's working, what's not, and strategize from those points on.
There's a strike there. Emma Jimenez is the pitcher in the circle for Las Traviesas. We saw her last week in the softball game of the week in their doubleheader against Omega Delta, as she ends up walking the first batter of the game, Sam Crowder. She's playing center field today, and a good start for them.
And Crowder with an amazing eye and a good start to the first inning. We'll see what happens with this next batter up.
Strike one called, snap throw back to first, and a good pick there by Comas. Came out of the hand there of the catcher, Ana Mendoza.
Just as I said, of course, attacking, but also having to keep your eye on the ball and figure out which pitch is the hit, just like that one.
That's into the gap in left center. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Kirsten Gaines, she's in the circle to start here for Lindblom, and she's giving herself a lead. She's going for the plate for the inside. The Parker, and she's in there.
What a great start by Lindblom, switching up their tactics, attacking early.
A 2-run inside the park home run for Kirsten Gaines. And Lindblom strikes first. We talked in the open about how the offense got going in the final couple of innings there. They were able to put up 5 runs in the first game, and it appears to have carried over here as Outlaw takes that one in the dirt for a ball.
What an amazing last name, Outlaw. Hopefully she is able to outlaw this ball out of this field.
That'd be big for Lindblom if they're able to keep the momentum and keep the rally going.
Yeah, every pitch matters in this one, especially when you're already in an 0-5 deficit in the standings. You take it game by game, and Outlaws just got to take it pitch by pitch.
Ball and 2 strikes. The pitch home. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Tag applied by Mendoza, and that's the first out of the ball game. So 1 gone now, and Simone Bishop now. She'll be catching for Lindblom in the second game of this doubleheader. Stands in at the very front part of that batter's box, right near that front chalk. As the first pitch comes in, it goes by her for a ball.
What's great about Bishop here is that she's kind of giving herself a lot of room in that box, moving more so outwards, trying to get as much of that plate as possible.
And how much of an advantage does that provide to the hitter when you're able to be that far up front?
I feel like it provides some advantage there, especially when you're up front. You know what you're doing. You get to see where specifically the ball is, get yourself some room off of those sides. The one difficult part of it, though, is especially if our pitcher throws it a little bit further outside. You're not able to reach it as much. Hopefully Bishop, though, is able to make contact with the ball here.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So after the home run, back-to-back strikeouts there for Emma Jimenez in the circle, and there are 2 away.
Jimenez is able to just keep her composure just after the unfortunate 2-run bomb. He's able to just get back right at it with 2 strikeouts.
Caitlin Gaines now steps in and takes that one for a ball. She's in left field today for Lindblom. They did not lead at all in that first game against Las Traviesas a little bit ago. They fell behind 5-0 after the first inning. This is popped up in a short left center, and that's down for a base hit. Caitlin Gaines aboard with a 2-out single.
As she gains herself a hit and maybe even a stolen base there.
They throw it away, and Gaines will take the extra bag there. Now a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
What a great eye just at the plate, and then also baseball awareness, softball awareness, excuse me.
Yes, the home plate umpire, I believe, is giving some instructions to the right side of that infield. Gutierrez and Comas there for Las Traviesas. So a 2-away runner on second. Here's Yasmire. She's the shortstop today. And she waves and misses at the first offering.
It seems like Lindblom versus this first game, unfortunately, we weren't able to cover as much of, but we're able to see that they're really attacking, especially in this first inning, versus what they were doing within the first few innings of that first game. That momentum, as you said, Kevin, has definitely carried over as much as possible, as we hope Lindblom is able to attack even more with a 2-out rally here.
And that was kind of the conversation that was being had in that dugout during that first game, and in between the 2 games, a little 20-minute breather that the 2 teams got. That's on the ground, a short backhanded by Alonso. Throw there, not in time. It's an infield single for Yasmire, and they're on the corners. But there was a sense of, in that third base dugout, which is where Lindblom is tonight, that there was almost too much patience being shown in the box there in game 1.
Yeah, too much patience. Patience is really good, but if you have too much, then the called strikes are going to be a problem for you. If you have too many called strikes, that could pile up like a pile of trash heaping on over. You do not want that to happen to you.
No, you don't.
Kind of reminds me of that one scene in Cloudy of a Chance of Meatballs, if anybody remembers that movie. All of that food just kind of flying out.
That's in front of the circle. Jimenez has to play with the bare hand, and she got it there in time. And that will retire the side. But Lindblom gets the scoring seal broken in this first inning with a 2-run inside the Parker from Kirsten Gaines. She's in the circle when we come back on the Windy City Sports Network. walking it back to Flames Field. 2-0 Lindblom the score as the first pitch comes in from Kirsten Gaines, and that's how the home half of the first gets going. The 0-1 pitch is popped up and caught in foul ground by Outlaw for out number 1.
Yeah, that's how our dogs are too.
Her last name might be Outlaw, but she was the sheriff just right there. She was able to just catch it and get a quick 1 out.
On the ground, left side. Yes, Mire across the diamond. It's close, and she's out. 2 gone.
What's amazing about this Lindblom team is they were able to prosper from that first game again, seeing it not just on the offensive side, but the defensive side, getting 2 quick outs.
Comas takes that one down and away.
And you know, lots of struggle also comes with a lot of adversity. You have just pushing off of that, learning experience. Lindblom finally getting it together 1 by 1.
2 balls, no strikes is the count. Comas playing first for Las Traviesas, 4-3 on the season. This is popped up right side and dropped at the last moment by Alexander. Great effort, but unfortunately she wasn't able to squeeze the biscuit.
Yeah, it was definitely a great effort there. Unfortunately, some milk got dunked in with the biscuits, sliding out. Wasn't able to secure it the whole way.
So 2 out, runner on first for Gigi Miguel. Last week against Omega Delta, she led off the game with an inside the park home run.
That's insane. Inside the park home run, you got to be high on your heels and wheels and deals.
That one misses off. And it was a straight send. It was looking like a triple all the way. And they gave her the green light to go. A lot of times you see coaches going, putting up the stop sign there at third base. There wasn't a stop sign. If there was, James, I think she probably blows through it.
Yeah, even then, I think the coach knows their players to their best ability and knew just to trust their gut with that one. Definitely seeing her. Definitely seeing her quickness on the field. Game after game, decided to not throw up a stop sign, and even if you are that guard there, you're not throwing up that sign fast enough for her to get on going, and was able to get herself that inside the park home run.
That one's in the dirt and it caroms away. To second base goes the runner in Comas, so now the runner in scoring position here for Las Traviesas.
Unfortunately, this seems to be a little bit of a problem, especially what we saw in Game 1 with Lindblom. The catching wasn't able to completely block the ball as much as possible.
In the air, a leap and unable to make the catches Gaines. This will score a run as Miguel is on her way for second, and she's in there standing with an RBI double, and it's 2-1. Lindblom's lead is cut in half. So Gigi Miguel drives in Las Traviesas' first run in this one.
Hopefully this doesn't turn into an unfortunate case of events.
Inside for a ball. This is Tati, the extra hitter.
But, you know, one error can lead to a lot of effects. We hope that it's just not a butterfly effect.
That's through the left side for a base hit. Miguel will get the green light and be held at third. A long turnaround first, and back in there is Tati. So they're on the corners here with 2 gone.
Good save by the center fielder, keeping base runner at third base instead of having her trail on all the way home.
That's Sam Crowder out there in center field. Yes. Anna Mendoza, the catcher, gets ready to stand in for the first time. No steal. A fake out there from Tati at first. Do you like the fake out move there at first? It seems so common in softball, and now we're seeing it oftentimes being someone's in the game of baseball as well. Now she is on the move. The throw down to second base is kicked away, And in to score the tie of the game is Miguel. It's 2-all.
I honestly love the fake out move. It gets the catcher very jumpy, as you saw there on the actual steal. You got the catcher behind the plate, just like trying to figure out that true instinct when to throw. Sometimes you do need that snap throw that throws off the runner, but it's very much so, as you know, that softball and baseball is. It's a whole game of being into a mindset and knowing to play chess instead of checkers.
So 2-2 the count as Mendoza cut and missed that one.
But, you know, possibly throwing in a snap throw here and there also throws off that runner, helping to try and keep up with some of the runners. Some of the runners, though, especially if you look into some aspects of MLB, especially, you got yourself Ellie De La Cruz, who is a speedster, a monster on the base.
Low throw, runner coming home, safe there on a drop third strike, and it's 3-2. Las Traviesas have just taken the lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're seeing more of what was happening in that first game. You have a little bit of errors here and there. Hopefully, Lindblom is able to keep that composure and learn back and look back at what they're doing. With that almost third out at second pop fly, it seems that Las Traviesas was able to complete going back into the driver's seat.
It's a passed ball, and Mendoza went to third. This is Zoe Placencia is the hitter. 3-2 the score, still 2 outs in the inning. And you have to feel for Lindblom because this inning started off so strong. They retired the first 2 batters quickly as that one's floated in the air to right field. Williams going over. It's over her head and will roll all the way to the base of the warning track. Mendoza in, Placencia on her way for third. And she is going to now come home after the ball's misplayed, and she's safe there with an inside the Parker. It's 5-2.
Yeah, another inside the Parker. Unfortunately, you know, as I was talking earlier about a butterfly effect, this does seem to be a little bit of that butterfly effect intact. You have that dropped pop fly earlier, as I was talking about, and now we got ourselves changing the inning because it was 5 runs.
That's exactly right. They're doing a 5-run inning run rule cap here. So we're playing an inning here. It's 5-2 Las Traviesas on WCSN. Visitors half of the second inning. 5-2 is the score as Alexander, the second baseman, lets that one drift inside for a ball. It was a good first inning offensively for Lindblom. They got 2 runs on 3 hits. They did have 2 runners on base there with 2 outs, but they weren't able to capitalize, and unfortunately, it's coming back to haunt them.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that it's coming back to haunt them, but Lindblom, hopefully they're able to stand strong as Alexander takes the first 2 pitches.
She takes the third pitch, and it's in there for a strike.
But that's, again, something that I was talking about earlier where you have to make sure that you're kind of choosing your pitches wisely, as most of Lindblom was able to do that within their first game. But there are some pitches that were a little questionable where should have swung at, definitely.
2-2 the count, the pitch home. That's strike 3 called. Alexander down on strikes. It's one of those spots where, unfortunately, it just feels too close to take.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too close to take. You have a bigger zone, especially with 2 strikes on you. You know, everybody's eyes should widen, not just the umpires. The batters and catchers should as well, as the catcher is able to kind of get away with a bigger zone in those instances. The batter has to protect, unfortunately. But you have those instances where you love those counts because you run up the pitch count, but you have also that time where there's some points definitely where you kind of want to make sure you're in the clear, especially the 2-0, 3-0 count. So it's all kind of depending on what count works for you. I remember when I was batting back in high school, I would love to get kind of deeper in the count. I know some players definitely, if you look at Tachman from the Cubs, he's one of those players that it's one of those weird feelings. He gets very deep into the count because he goes 0-2, and then he fights his way back with so much resilience, so much grit. But then you have other players who are definitely loving those counts where you have balls first, especially.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hitters are very much adamant with the adage, especially at this level of high school baseball and softball. That's inside. This is Taylor Williams. She's in right field today. That swinging at the first pitch is their best opportunity to get a hit, because oftentimes at this level, but with just the naturality of just young pitching, that's ball 4, and Williams just worked the walk there on 4 pitches. That the first pitch is going to be the best pitch they see all at bat.
Yeah, first pitch usually is, and your eyes definitely widen up, so you're looking to swing to the most forces as much as possible. But I know, especially with Lindblom down in the dumps a little bit, with them being at a 5-2 deficit, I would say if it was me up there, I would probably take that first pitch and then kind of go on and see what's happening next.
Popped up and dropped over there, but the force out will be made to get Williams at second base. That was Sam Crowder representing the top of the order.
Yeah, Crowder gets some good contact on it. Unfortunately, Williams gets out in at second. It's kind of one of those jumpy plays where you don't know if that ball is going to be caught or dropped. Usually it's caught, and you're kind of in that middle portion of the baseline.
That one's drilled high and deep left field, and that one will bounce in front of the wall. Crowder on her horse around third. She'll come in to score. It's an RBI double for Kirsten Gaines. She's 2 for 2 and has driven in all 3 Lindblom runs, and they cut the deficit to 2.
And Gain is she just keeps on gaining her ways to the going off, and just keeps on gaining more and more hits, more runs. She's got everything going for her.
Outlaw now comes up. 5-3 game as that's in the dirt.
You know, baseball is definitely a team effort, but when you have one player going, sometimes that's always one player that is all you need to get other players to keep on going. It's kind of like that spark in that flame that keeps everything going. If Lindblom is able to keep that spark in gains, we're able to ignite.
Hit hard in
flame
and out of
there.
the middle of Miguel at third, and everyone is safe. They're on the corners, and Lindblom's got something going here, tying runs on base. Simone Bishop comes on up now.
You know, it's kind of funny, especially if you're playing chess. I don't know if you know about Bishop, but I'm pretty sure those are the pieces that kind of are at the corners. If I'm mistaken, someone please educate me on that.
See, the problem is I'm terrible at chess, so I can't correct you even if I wanted to.
But I mean, I know like the pawns are usually at the front. Bishops, I mean, it's kind of a funny take where you have both players at the corners and.
High fly ball to right field, and that one's a base hit. In to score comes Gaines. On her way to third is Outlaw. She's going to get the green light around, and this game is tied at 5. It's a 2 RBI double for Simone Bishop.
Corners in from the Bishop.
There you go, James. On cue. And she does a little celebratory dance there at second.
Those are always my favorite, good old celebratory dances from each of the teams at when you hit a double.
High fly ball in a right center. That's a base hit. Bishop will get the green light around. Here comes the relay throw to the plate. Not in time on his second base, and they're not going to get her as the ball's dropped there by Gutierrez. Caitlin Gaines is now 2 for 2. She's driven in now the go-ahead run for Lindblom. It's 6-5.
Lindblom just keeping going with that first inning that they've had, and of course, as I was talking about earlier, Gaines was able to kind of be that spark, and now we have ourselves a rally here.
So 2 outs still in the inning. Here's Yasmira, the shortstop. Off the plate for a ball. Offense is on display and going to work early here in this one. Popped up foul left side.
You know, today is kind of a heater of a game, so you see the ball flying out a little bit further. Wind isn't blowing too much. Kind of a little bit outwards. I would say probably a little bit, probably towards right field, just a little. It's kind of hard seeing where the wind is always going to blow, but you usually look at the flags for great instance of, you know, where specifically it's going to go.
And off the hands, but it's caught there at first, and that will end the frame. But Lindblom, 4 runs in the inning. They've come back and taken a 1-run lead. Let's see if there's a response from Las Traviesas when we come back. inside Flames field. That one misses off the plate for a ball. Julissa Hernandez leads things off, and she goes up 2-0. Only 2 outs were recorded by Las Traviesas in the first inning because of the 5-run rule that the two teams have agreed upon to play today. That one's in the dirt. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Hernandez seems to be not attacking the zone as much as she was in that first inning as you get a 3-0 deficit. Unfortunately, there's the 4th ball.
And Hernandez is aboard with leadoff walk. She's in left field today. Here's the pitch to Emma Hernandez. We've seen the Lindblom pitcher in gains helping herself out, driving in 3 of the 6 so far for this Lindblom side. Let's see now what the other pitcher can do, and she wallops that one in the air. But it's not going to be made there. Force out will be there at second and out there. Nice job by the pitcher to cover. It's a fielder's choice, and there's 1 away.
Good heads-up play by the pitcher. Everybody is able to kind of avoid having that 2 players on. Now you just have 1. That is a really good heads-up play.
That's a wild pitch, and the runner is going to easily cruise into second base.
But yeah, that's the thing about definitely within softball. You always have to back up somebody. It's a game of backing up, especially when you're playing defense, knowing your roles, knowing where specifically to be at. It's all depth perception. No, especially in as a outfielder myself, you know, what was weird was always kind of covering the 1st and 3rd corners.
On the ground, that throw is going to pull the first baseman off the bag. And so they're safe at the corners. That was Mel Gutierrez. An errant throw allows there to be runners on the corners here.
Mel Gutierrez was able to make some decent contact there. He just throws her off the bag and able to secure one of her own.
L lets that one go by as Gutierrez will advance to second base. So Jimenez on third, Gutierrez on second. 2 ducks on the pond for Las Traviesas here, down by a run. In the top of the order up, this is a dangerous spot right now for Lindblom. That one caroms away. Jimenez is going to come for the plate, and she is safe. And we're tied at 6.
It kind of feels like that softball kind of has a mind of its own. It seems to be playing a classic Limp Bizkit song, and it's rollin', rollin', rollin' away, unfortunately, from the catcher, as Las Traviesas is able to score there and tie the game back up 6-6 apiece.
The references tonight from you are on point.
Yeah, it's I mean, I have a lot of references out of my back pocket. You know, I wear a lot of hats. I'm definitely a hat guy.
Except you're not wearing a hat tonight.
No, not wearing a hat figuratively, or I guess reality-wise, but figuratively speaking.
It's crushed but found to the first base side.
Now, if you really want a hat guy, though, you can ask my grandpa on my mom's side, though. He is a man of many hats that he wears. Whenever he travels out of the country, he's always grabbing a hat.
It's ball 4, and the leadoff batter reaches base. They still are now on the corners again as Ari Alonso comes on up looking to give her side the lead, as they're going to pause play for a moment as Bishop's going to attend to her shin guard on her right leg.
You know, those shin guards are so important. Every single part of that catcher equipment is so important so in order to have it in check is really needed, because those softballs, even though they might seem very light and hollow, they can do a lot of damage, especially at this rate in high school with how fast these pitchers are pitching. So, especially, and also when you ricochet it off, that kneecap can be blown. So It's very important to make sure that all of our equipment is in check. Helmets, knee pads, shin guards, anything and everything. A little bit that EPA, that Equipment Protocol Association, as something that's always in check, especially as athletic trainer. You're always looking for those and checking everything out, making sure that every single part is protected. I know there was, especially one catcher that me and Kevin played with. He didn't have a specific part um, that wasn't able to. I don't know why he didn't bring that protection, but
He
didn't
wasn't able
have.
to play. He
No,
wasn't
he
able to
wasn't.
catch.
He wasn't able to catch with
Without it, it
specifically.
was a mandated rule to protect all the players,
Yeah.
and he did not have a specific piece of equipment,
Yeah.
and so he wasn't allowed to catch, which put the travel team that James and I were on in a very interesting predicament, shall we say?
Yeah, it was very interesting because specifically.
We're not going to rehash the details on
Yeah.
air,
Yeah.
but it was
It was.
it wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't. It was not a pretty predicament.
Here's Alonso now after Bishop has attended her her shin guard. Runner going for second, safe there. Runner coming home. Las Traviesas lead.
Yeah.
7-6.
Fortunately, there with that quick movement on the bases, Las Traviesas is able to score. Traviesas was able to score. Those are very tricky plays, and I know, Kevin, we talked about it earlier on, especially with this broadcast, but other broadcasts, when you have a person at third and a person at first and they're stealing, it's one of those plays that you kind of have to eat. It's it's like a buffet that you don't want to have, but you kind of have to. It's like, or if you kind of think about it, like grandma's cooking. Those grandma's cooking is always great.
We're hitting them all tonight. We're hitting up 13 runs for not even 2 full innings. We're going through the long list here, and Alonso is doing a nice job battling here. Night before 4th of July. So is Grandma doing the barbecuing here in the family tomorrow, James, or what's that like? Is that's in the dirt for ball 4? And meanwhile, by the way, it's important to note that Emma has advanced to third on that pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, so grandma unfortunately isn't cooking up the barbecue for the 4th. That's more so my grandpa that does that. But my grandma definitely she'll probably be cooking up some lemon squares. Those are her specialty that everybody should try once or twice.
And there's Alonso going to second on the defensive indifference. Comas is the hitter. Reached on an error, 0 for 1 officially. She later came around to score. 7-6 right now. Comas pops that one up, but it's foul, first base side.
Thomas doing a great job of battling back. You know, all of these players, specifically on Las Traviesas, has been battling pitch by pitch. That's something that unfortunately, of course, Lindblom has been doing an amazing job on the plate, but especially in that first game, they weren't able to battle as much versus this Las Traviesas pitching. What needs to be done here, especially as
And she's safe there. They throw this one away. Here comes Alonso, and she'll score from second. 9-6 on a 2-run scoring wild pitch.
and that's just very unfortunate as that ball gets away from the catcher again. But as I was saying earlier, it's kind of that picking your battles that you always have to know when and where. That was a great battle to pick right there.
And Comas is on her way for second base, and she's in there standing. So in theory, both runs would have come across the score anyways. So it remains 9-6, but a nice piece of hitting there from the first baseman for Las Traviesas.
You know, it's kind of like a pre-sale. It's you get 2 already, buy it already, and even then you still get the ticket with it. You get that hit, get a person on second. Now hopefully Lindblom is able to stop this runner at second from advancing.
Caught basket high by the center fielder Crowder, and they aren't able to double up Comas. But a nice catch out there in center, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, that would be pretty unfortunate if Lindblom was going to go back-to-back 5-run rule innings. Thankfully, with that center fielder to catch by the center fielder, able to make it 2 outs there.
Here's Tati. She ropes that one into the gap in right center field. That will roll all the way to the wall. Comas around third. She'll come in to score as it's 10-6. On her way for third comes Tati. She's going to get the green light to the plate. The throw from Alexander's up the line, and retreating back quickly there is Tati. It is 10-6. Las Traviesas on an RBI triple there from their extra hitter. And that will end the inning. That's the 5-run rule. So we've played 2. It's 10-6. Las Traviesas on top. Hot, steamy summer night here in Chicago as Lindblom comes back to bat and Kimora Bell cuts and misses at that one from Jimenez. 4-1. Las Traviesas back-to-back 5-run innings, leading 10-6. As the fireworks going off, obviously tomorrow being the 4th of July.
Fireworks going off. Literally, let's hope Lindblom is able to figuratively make some fireworks go off for their team. Unfortunately, I was a big jinx in the part of Las Traviesas scoring back-to-back 5-run rule innings.
Nice play there by Jimenez to throw her out. Even a low throw would have picked out there nicely. And Bell is retired. Alexander, yeah. Well, you've officially joined the announcers club when you have an announcer's jinx.
Yeah, it's a big club, unfortunately, but
everyone's a part of it.
Everyone's eventually a part of it, one by one. You always have your games. Hopefully, I'm able to just keep it at 1 and stay there. But as more games get announced, I know lots of announcers have their jinx. I wonder which announcer has the most jinxes of all time, though, if you were to kind of go back and see if that was a random ESPN stat of any sort.
That's a really good question. I couldn't even tell you. Like, I don't want to take a guess at that even. I mean, from a number of years standpoint, there's going to be many out there listening to this who would go, oh, well, Vin Scully, 67 years in the Dodgers booth. But also, Vin didn't really now granted, I mainly listened to Vin his final handful of years in the broadcast, thanks to MLB Network, for them obviously doing the whole live look-ins and, doing all those games.
Mm-hmm.
he didn't really predict a whole lot of events that were going to happen. He just told the story of the game and its players. So I would rule Vin out of that, at least in my mind.
Yeah, I feel like Vince Scully was definitely one of those that he definitely projected more so on the game as a whole and looking at the players versus projecting his own predictions and uh, kind of being a mind reader as a whole. Um, One name that kind of comes to mind, of course, like football, I feel like as years go on and on a little bit, maybe is Tony Romo, but he is one of those that is actually really good at predictions because he's played the game for so long as well.
Yeah, Romo's going to be up there, I think, eventually. It'd be fun to come back. Yeah, I'm with you. I wish there was someone who tracked announcer jinxes. As that one's cut on a miss. This is the top of the order for Lindblom and Sam Crowder. Run on first, 2 away as that one misses down and away.
You know, it's a little bit of an oxymoron that Sam's last name is Crowder, but she is not crowding the plate at all here.
And what does that do, though, to a hitter? We talked earlier about how if they're up front in the front of the batter's box, it really eliminates the option to go to the opposite side with the pitch as a hitter. But when you're standing not along the chalk line, as there's a strike called to Crowder, and she's in a 2-strike battle here, how does that affect a hitter?
Yeah, I definitely think that it affects a hitter as not standing there by the chalk line, you're able to get a little bit more of that inside portion.
And that'll end the inning. Well, we'll come back and we'll put a bow on this conversation when we return after break. Last of the third, up next on the Windy City Sports Network. Home half of the third inning is underway with a pitch that goes to the backstop for a ball. Anna Mendoza, the catcher, who reached base on a drop third strike and later came around to score her lone trip to the dish, came back in the first inning. And she lines that one into the gap in left center for a base hit, and it'll roll all the way to the base of the wall. Mendoza on her way for second. She's going for third. The throw there gets away. And now Mendoza's going to come now to the plate. The throw there, they have her caught on a rundown. Bishop's going to chase her down. Flips on over to Gaines. Gaines will tag her out for a long and loud triple. And a well-executed rundown there by Lindblom.
It's a great execution by Lindblom there. Mendoza trying her best to always score, but unfortunately gets caught looking there by the catcher. A great rundown. Just runs right out of the base path as Gaines was, of course, cheesy as it is, but gaining up on her.
So now here's Placencia. That one catches a lot of the home plate umpire and not a lot of the catcher's mitt.
You know, Mendoza may have been 0 for 1 before that hit. I wonder what her average really is, because it's it would be kind of cool to talk about her last name in the matter of the fact of the Mendoza line.
High fly ball to straightaway center. Crowder turns and it's over her head, and that one's all the way to the base of the wall. Placencia has reached base for the second time. She tripled in the first, and now she's doubled here in the third.
Placencia, 2 hits already. Maybe she gets another 2, completing the cycle there.
We had, and we referenced Gigi Miguel, the cleanup hitter for Las Traviesas tonight. That's one upstairs. And look at this. Placencia is more than halfway down the line, but she trots back to second. Miguel had completed 3 legs of the cycle, but then grounded into a fielder's choice, and that ended up cutting her thread at a cycle there in that game.
Yeah, Miguel just 1 short of that cycle, unfortunately, as Palencia, again, very, very, very aggressive on the base paths.
Got happy feet right now, dancing over second.
Yeah, trying to dance her way all the way to third. The catcher kind of...
Now she is going for third. Throw from a knee beats her, but the ball's dropped there by Bell.
Great base running right there by Palencia. Catcher was on her feet as well, happy feet as well, but unfortunately a drop ball, as you said. But it's one of those instances where you just have to be on your toes and kind of be aggressive, especially when the base runner is aggressive. It's kind of an eye for an eye.
Hernandez works the walk. That's her second walk of the game. That one's down in the dirt. Both runners like not to move, as Emma Jimenez is the hitter. Jimenez reached on a fielder's choice, came around to score. The rare 8-1 fielder's choice in the scorebook, as Hernandez will glide her way to second base with a stolen bag.
Great stolen bag there, as you know, the corner threat as always.
That's a ball upstairs. And I want to go back to that fielder's choice. Like I said, for those who are scoring at home, it was an 8-1 fielder's choice. How often do you see that?
It's a pretty rare oddity that you see in this world of softball. One of those instances where you just kind of got to go with the flow with some portions of it. But it's kind of like if any of you guys are card traders out there, it's one of those rare oddities where you kind of pull out a signature, ultra rare signature relic card, and you go jump in with joy if you're one of those softball fanatics that love jotting down in the scorebooks.
Hernandez on the ground, up the middle, and it gets deflected by the second baseman Alexander on the dive. 2 runs will score, and it's 12-6. 2 RBI infield single for Mel Gutierrez.
Mel Gutierrez is able to just get it squozing by. That's one word that you don't really hear is something that you think is an actual word, squozing. Some people say squeezing by. But it was just a little bit of a gap there and just deflected by the the shortstop there is able to score 2.
So another good start. Top of the order now for the team wearing the burnt orange.
And it seems like Las Traviesas is able to just keep gaining and gaining more and more as they go further into this inning. We'll see if they're able to go for the trifecta here, actually, if going 3 for 3 with 5 run rule innings.
Both runners go. Safe there at third. A pitch that got away from the catcher, Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop unfortunately not able to secure that softball there.
That's ball 4. So the leadoff batter has worked the walk, and Ari Alonso comes on up with him juiced. Opportunity here for Las Traviesas to really open this one up. They lead by 6, but they can dominate and possibly close the book on this one. Inside for a ball.
Alonso with a great eye there. Just definitely looking pitch by pitch, as you were talking about earlier, of course, Kevin, first pitch very widens the eye, but that one.
That's the line in the left field. That's a base hit in front of Gaines. In to score is the lead runner in Jimenez. Everyone else is station to station. It's 13-6.
That one definitely widened the eyes for Alonso right there. Just kind of right down the middle, able to get a really great piece of it, pull it a little bit to left field, and everybody kind of just switches places there. So everybody's safe.
Strike one there to Comas. Comas on the day. 1 for 2, double and an E4. Good block there from Bishop, and none of the runners will advance. Las Traviesas, 18 runs in game 1. They've got 13 so far here in game 2. Good block there again from Bishop. That's now 2 in a row for her.
For my people, great with quick maths, that's 31 runs there in total right now. We'll see how many ends up with the full total as this game keeps going on and on.
It's been a very roller coaster-like season for this Las Traviesas team. They won their first 2 games by a combined score of 35-19. That one's roped up the middle, base hit. In to score is Gutierrez. Right behind her comes Emma. There won't be a throw to the plate, and it's 15-6. And Las Traviesas has busted it open here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A 2 RBI single for Comas. And that's the 5-run mark. And we played 3. 15-6 the score here on the Windy City Sports Network. (15-6) the score. First pitch swinging and a drive into center field, and a nice catch out there made by Plasencia, taking away a base hit from Kirsten Gaines. That ball was smoked, but just right at the mitt there of Plasencia out there in deep center.
Yeah, it was definitely smoked by Gaines out there, but Palencia able to just come up with the grab, just keeping her composure, going back a little bit of a drop step. She was a little bit skipping back, it seemed like.
Fireworks to celebrate a great defensive performance there in the background. Yes, here's the next offering, Outlaw. That one's crushed in the air, deep left field. Hernandez going back onto the track. She makes the catch there too.
Look at that. Hernandez, Palencia, back-to-back steals, as you would say a little bit. He was able to just catch that ball there. Wasn't really a can of corn, though. It was, those were two very well-hit balls. As they were gliding all the way back, it looked like it was going to be a little bit over her head, but she was able to stick with it, able to make the catch there.
Bishop pops that one foul. So an F8 and an F7 to start the inning.
Those are always balls where you as a fan, you're definitely holding your breath and trying to see if it will go over their head, go out of the park, or be caught. I mean, as a Cubs fan,
line to center, that drops in front of Placencia. Great run, but she just didn't have the speed to get there in time. That ball was dropping quickly, and Bishop has a 2-out single.
And Bishop able to kind of eliminate that air and pop time off of that ball and kind of just drive it down a little bit of a liner and just plops down into center field there.
Good block there. Bishop on the move. The second throw from a knee from Mendoza's cut off in front of there of the bag by Alonso. And a runner in scoring position here for Lindblom.
But as I was saying earlier about those two pop flies, those are definitely plays like you have to just kind of hold your breath a little bit, kind of like when you're going into the deep end.
Yeah, and really great. They're going to try a snap throw back. Bishop's now caught between second and third. Throw there, gets away. It takes a very friendly hop, though, for the defense as Bishop slides in there safely with a steal of third.
Great snap throw by Mendoza. Unfortunately, Bishop is able to just get up in there and just steal that bag.
That one's blooped foul behind home.
It's kind of like a reaction play with the ball being blooped foul and then the firework going off.
It almost timed with when the ball made contact with the padding right behind home plate. Here's the next offering to Gaines. In the dirt, it caroms away now from Mendoza. Bishop coming to the plate. She's in, and it's 15-7. Some power, some heart, and some muscle. As Bishop does it herself there on that trip to the base paths.
All by the Bishop.
Now 2 for 3 on the day for her. Gaines now comes up with 2 gone and no one on base. Or remains in the box, I should say, and waves and misses at that one for a strike. And that's strike 3, actually. A little bit of hesitation there.
Yeah, definitely
Fooled us up here as well. So 15-7 is the score. We go to the last of the fourth here on the Windy City Sports Network. We are just over 2 weeks away from MLB Nike RBI baseball and softball programs from across the Midwest descending on to Chicago, Illinois for the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. The fun starts on July 18th, and you can catch all the action on the Windy City Sports Network family of channels. And we cannot wait for the upcoming Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament here all across the city of Chicago. Flames Field here will be the site of the premier softball matchups throughout the weekend, including the championship game on Sunday the 21st. And across the street from us is Curtis Granderson Stadium, the premier baseball field. As you can see why, just based off the picture we're showing you. Both fields with beautiful vantage points of the Chicago skyline. High-class facilities as the first pitch of the innings roped in a center field. That's down for a base hit. Playing off the bare hand is Crowder, and it prevents Gigi McGill from grabbing extra bases.
Gigi McGill is able to just keep on going, just like her first game, as we were talking about earlier. Just one hit away from the cycle. This time is able to get herself to first really easily.
That's smoked up the middle. It caroms off the mound, or the rubber, I should say, and into center field. It gets by Crowder around third, and now coming into the plate is Miguel. She's got great speed. The throw there is cut off, and it's an RBI double for Tati, and it's 16-7.
Yeah, that pitcher's rubber was able to give a huge assist for Las Traviesas there. Kind of just ricocheting off and just popping up all the way to the center field. Unfortunately, center fielder there was not able to grab onto that softball as quickly as possible, and McGill was able to go all the way from first to home.
That one is to the backstop. 16-7 is the score. And that's got to be so deflating if you're a pitcher like Gaines there. You get a ground ball, possibly could be two, depending on the way your defense plays it, and it just takes a bad hop and gets away from everyone.
Yeah, usually you would say that most times the field is going to be a little bit hoppy here and there, but it's actually pretty soft, pretty flat, pretty even as well. That one spot, though, that you don't want it to go on, it goes on and unfortunately takes such a bad hop. Hopefully our pitcher here from Lindblom is able to collect herself and take it pitch by pitch.
And the count goes to 2-2. And you were talking about, like we talked about earlier, though, in preparation for the tournament, that one is crushed. It's in and out of the mitt there. The shortstop, Yasmire, she goes and scoops it on the right side of the infield, but everyone is safe. That's a base hit there for Anna Mendoza. And there's 2-1, still no one out. But talking about the tournament, though, and just the high-quality facilities that they use for this tournament. UIC, Kerrywood Cubs Field, a great high school facility. DePaul University uses their softball field as a facility as well in years past. Even though this is a dirt facility, as that one's cut on and missed there by Placencia, made a great play defensively in the top half of this inning. The only really place where, like you said, a bad hop could happen is the little tiny white strip of rubber there that the pitcher's required to start on.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's an amazing facility. You have such great places to play.
That one's into left field for a base hit. Around third comes Tatsi, and that ball gets misplayed out in the outfield. Tatsi scores. Right behind her comes Mendoza. Placencia wanting three. She's in there standing as well, and it's 18-7.
What a great hit there. But going back to your question or your comment, Kevin, about the facilities, it's yeah, very unfortunate that, of course, it just hit that one piece that you never wanted to hit. And the facilities that all of these great athletes in high school are playing at, they're all amazing, especially the skyline, seeing the Sirius, or some people say the Willis Tower.
It's Sirius to me.
Everybody kind of has that debate here and there, but there's an amazing skyline, especially at night. You have amazing facilities, playing on such a great dirt field, especially It's very well managed. The outfield very flat. No real big divots or anything that you would see unless you're in kind of like a crazy park district or if you're in my high school's baseball facility. We got to clean that up, guys.
That's ball 4. Hernandez is aboard. I'll say James and I played baseball together for many years. We're in the same travel program, but we went to different high schools. And I'll just say from firsthand experience of being a pitcher and an outfielder in high school, the trip we always dreaded, not because of, being a bad road team, and that one is a base hit into left field, and the lead is up to 12. It's 19-7. And at least according to the run rules, that should do it. It's 12 after 4. Yes, we're sure they're probably just going to finish out the inning at this point and then probably call it so people can get more at bats. That's up the middle. Great hit there off the bat there of Gutierrez around third. Coming in to score is Hernandez, and that is the 5-run cap there. It's 20-7. And that should do it by our calculations according to the rule book. And we'll wait to see what the umpire ruling is. It is currently more than 12 runs after 4, which according to the rules is a drop dead point, but I guess we're just going to keep playing here, so we're going to stay with you as well. I'll finish my story on us playing James's high school when we come back. Welcome back. You might be looking at the score and you're saying, hey, why are we playing? Well, they've decided to extend this by one more half inning to allow Lindblom to get one final at bat. It's 20-7. And with the 5-run cap, there's no way of coming back. But this league at the end of the day is about getting quality at bats and quality games in for these kids. And what's an extra half inning going to hurt?
Yeah, nothing wrong with an extra half inning. Just let the kids play. Let them all get their reps. Quality at bat right there.
On the ground at third. Nice play there. That was a strong throw, and there's one gone. That was Yasmire getting cut down there by a great play from Miguel at third.
Miguel with a great strike of a throw right there to their first baseman. Really great contact on the other end, too, as well, though.
Here's kind of more a bell. I want to put a bow, though, on the story that James and I began to tell during the last half inning. So like I said, the trip, at least someone like me dreaded most as a pitch the contact pitcher and an outfielder, was going to play at James's high school. Not because of the external factors of it's a tough place to play, because of crowd or, whatever, but because of, as you mentioned, the field conditions.
Yeah, those field conditions, I mean, even as an outfielder, my junior year, I always dreaded playing that outfield, and
It's your own home park.
even though it was my own home park, I mean, I love the team, love the coach, love everybody in that facility, and love my high school to dearest death. But man, that was a brutal home field to play on. Did it have some home advantages because I knew where certain things like scary reference, bricks and glass were. Yes, it was definitely a home advantage, but and knowing your divots is one way to create such a home advantage as well. But it's definitely a scary scene. Being being a player out there and knowing that some of your friends from other teams, even though you are so competitive with them, making sure that they don't get hurt on your own field. Um, it's definitely it's a gritty and grimy field, which kind of speaks true to my high school's baseball team and baseball spirit.
And Chicago baseball, you see the number of quality baseball players this city has produced. Did she go? That's the question. No swing. Um, by the way, 2 outs here in the inning after Alexander was quickly put away on strikes. Everyone talks about, especially on the baseball side, that if they had to say one word to describe Chicago baseball, and mind you, the sport has grown exponentially at the high school over the last couple of years. I mean, so much D1 talent now for the game of baseball is coming out of the city of Chicago. The number one word that everyone describes is grit. That's back to the circle, and that one gets thrown away. Bell overran the bag, but she is able to sneak back in there. There was the force there at first, and then is try to take the long out, and it comes back to hurt her. But real quick, though, the number one word, though, grit.
Yeah, it's a great word to use and definitely describe Chicago baseball as a whole and Chicago softball as a whole in general. I mean, you have like, of course, your lovable losers that are able to come out after 104
8 years.
yeah, 108 years, excuse me. But they're able to come out with a team that, of course, you have your great all-stars, but they're a gritty team, and that just describes Chicago baseball so well as a whole.
That one's in the dirt. Good block there from Mendoza. Sam Crowder is the hitter. 0 for 2, but she's reached base twice tonight. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Here it comes. Make it 3-1. That goes to the backstop. And safe there at third is Bell on a wild pitch.
You know, of course, you got 2 outs there. Kind of going back to that hesitation of a play where a pitcher should have thrown to first. She tries to go to second instead, and unfortunately, everybody is safe.
That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Uh,
Crowder's second walk of the game.
Seems to kind of be biting her in the butt a little bit. Of course, you want to make sure that that last out comes as quick as possible, but now it could be starting some trouble.
So 2 outs here comes Kirsten Gaines. She homered back in the first inning. She doubled in a run in the second. And she grounds that one hard, but it's foul off of third.
Gaines has had some really great contact here. Definitely, of course, that homer back in the first was the highlight of the day for her. Of course, that double as well. Maybe she gets another extra base hit here. Drives in a few.
0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Good off-speed pitch there from Jimenez, and they're 1 strike away.
Yeah, Jimenez is able to just use her authority there and get a good off-speed pitch. Gaines looked like she was swinging for the fences.
0-2. Bloop to the left side of the infield. Charging is Alonso. She doesn't have a play. Everyone's safe, and it's 20-8.
You know, even though it's not a extra base hit, Gaines still makes great contact with that ball. Blooped a little bit before the second base and able to make sure that all three ducks on the pond are still surviving and thriving.
That's Gaines' fourth RBI on the game. Here's Layla Outlaw. On the ground, left side, takes a funny hop. Alonso on the run. Got there in time, and that'll end the game. So Las Traviesas dominate in game 2. In both outings, they've combined to score 38 runs, and they win this one by a final of 20-8.
Yeah, what an amazing effort by Las Traviesas and also Lindblom as well. I mean, both teams putting up so much effort, so much grind, so much determination on both sides. Las Traviesas, unfortunately, is able to come out as that better team in both Game 1 and Game 2. And just that hitting has been a big piece of their story recently. And hopefully they're able to come out and gain that in the next and upcoming game that they have.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us. So Las Traviesas gets to their record up to 5-3. Lindblom drops to 0-6. For everyone associated with Cubs Charities and the Winning City Sports Network, our partner James Lincoln, I'm Captain Later, saying so long from Flames Field. Las Traviesas dominate the doubleheader, winning it by a final of 20-8.